Talking security now, troops of Operation Hadin Kai have averted what could have been another deadly terror attack in Borno State. Acting on credible intelligence, the military reportedly intercepted and neutralized 3 suicide bombers before they could strike civilian targets in Gwoza local government area.
It always starts quietly. No sirens, no gunfire, no warning to the sleeping towns, the traders closing for the night, the children laughing in courtyards. Terror does not announce itself. It creeps in on bare feet, hidden under clothes, strapped to human bodies turned into weapons. And by the time people realize what is happening, it is usually too late. But this time, death was stopped. In the rocky corridors leading into Gwoza local government area of Borno State, 3 human bombs were walking towards destiny. Not theirs, but that of innocent civilians. Markets, mosques, crowded streets, these were the intended theaters of blood. Yet, what the terrorists did not know was that every step they took was already being watched, analyzed, and tracked. This is the story of how intelligence, collaboration, and precision saved countless lives, and why this moment matters far beyond Gwoza. Too often, when people hear that troops acted on intelligence, it sounds abstract, almost routine. But intelligence is not magic, and it is not guesswork. It is the painstaking collection of fragments, whispers from locals, unusual movements noticed by vigilantes, intercepted communications, patterns observed over weeks. In this case, the warning signs did not emerge overnight. For weeks, troops of Operation Hadin Kai had been gathering bits of information from multiple sources. Local community volunteers noticed strange movements. Informants picked up conversations that did not feel right. Signal intelligence suggested coordination. Patterns aligned. This is where collaboration becomes decisive.
Military intelligence units did not work in isolation. They coordinated with other security agencies, local vigilante groups, and community-based volunteer forces who know the terrain, the footpaths, the hideouts, and most importantly, the people. This human intelligence, combined with technical surveillance and communication intercepts, painted a chilling picture. Suicide bombers were being deployed towards civilian targets in Gwoza. Let me ask you a critical question here. If local communities were not involved in intelligence gathering, would this plot have been detected in time? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Once intelligence is confirmed, the most dangerous phase begins: action. Suicide bombers are not like armed fighters who can be engaged from a distance. One mistake, one delay, one miscalculation, and dozens of lives are lost in seconds. Troops of Operation Hadin Kai moved with speed but also restraint. Their objective was not just to engage, it was to neutralize without allowing detonation. That requires discipline, coordination, and calm under pressure. The 3 bombers were intercepted before they reached populated areas. In swift, intelligence-driven operations, the troops neutralized them, preventing the explosives strapped to their bodies from ever being detonated. Suicide vests and other improvised explosive device IED materials were recovered and safely secured. This point cannot be overstated. Had even one bomber reached a crowded area, the story today would be very different. Please pause here, like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you value in-depth security analysis that goes beyond headlines. What many viewers may overlook is one frightening detail. The bombers were not alone. They were escorted. This tells us something deeply disturbing about the scale of the planned attack. Suicide bombers are often guided by armed escorts to ensure they reach their targets, fend off suspicion, or force them forward if they hesitate. This means the terrorists were not planning a single explosion, but a coordinated, protected assault designed to cause maximum casualties. When troops engaged, they inflicted heavy casualties on the terrorist escort. The surviving elements fled into the rugged Mandara Mountains, a terrain that has long provided cover for insurgents. During exploitation of the area, soldiers recovered 4 AK-47 rifles abandoned by the fleeing terrorists. 2 motorcycles used for the operation were destroyed. Now consider this question carefully. What would have happened if these armed escorts had successfully delivered the bombers into the heart of Gwoza? Drop your answer in the comments. Statistics rarely capture the real horror of suicide attacks, so let us be clear about what was prevented. In past attacks across Borno State, suicide bombings have killed entire families, wiped out rows of market stalls,
and turned ordinary days into lifelong trauma. Children fetching water, women selling vegetables, men returning from prayers. No one is spared. These attacks are designed not just to kill, but to terrorize, to send a message that nowhere is safe. One bomber in a crowded market can kill or injure dozens. 3 coordinated bombers, arriving within minutes of each other, could have turned Gwoza into a scene of mass burial. Hospitals would be overwhelmed. Families would search for missing relatives. Survivors would carry scars, physical and psychological, for life. This interception did not just stop an attack, it preserved futures. If you believe stories like this deserve attention, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps amplify voices that matter.
To understand the significance of this success, we must remember what these terror groups have done before. In previous years, suicide bombers, many of them coerced or drugged, have struck IDP camps, killing displaced persons who had already lost everything. Others targeted mosques during prayer times, exploiting moments of spiritual vulnerability. Markets, chosen for their density, have been turned into killing fields. There have been attacks where children were used as bomb carriers, a cruelty that defies words. Entire communities have been traumatized, not just by the deaths, but by the fear that anyone, even a familiar face, could be carrying explosives. This is the enemy Operation Hadin Kai is dealing with. Not rebels seeking territory alone, but terror networks that weaponize civilians and thrive on mass casualties. Ask yourself, how do you fight an enemy that does not value life, not even its own members? This operation reinforces a critical lesson. Brute force alone cannot defeat terrorism. Intelligence-led operations save lives because they stop attacks before they happen. Surveillance, human intelligence, signal intercepts, and interagency cooperation allow the military to act surgically. This reduces collateral damage, protects civilians, and weakens terror networks at their planning stages. Following this interception, troops intensified surveillance and offensive operations across the enclave. Remaining terror cells are now under pressure, their networks disrupted, their movement restricted. Equally important is the strengthened collaboration with other security agencies and community-based volunteer groups across Borno and Yobe states. This layered security approach makes it harder for terrorists to exploit gaps. At this point, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you want more deep dive narratives on security and national stability.
There is another perspective often missing from official reports: the courage of ordinary people. Local volunteers risk retaliation when they provide information. Communities live with the fear that someone might be watching, listening, waiting to punish cooperation. Yet time and again, it is local knowledge that tips the balance. This operation highlights a truth many overlook. Security is not only built by soldiers, it is sustained by trust between the military and the people. When communities believe their information will be acted upon responsibly and that they will be protected, intelligence flows. And when intelligence flows, attacks fail. Do you think enough is being done to protect informants and local volunteers? Tell us what you think in the comments. The fleeing terrorists into the Mandara Mountains are not just running, they are weakened. Abandoned weapons, destroyed motorcycles, and disrupted plans mean their operational capacity has taken a hit. Sustained military pressure combined with intelligence exploitation can turn this disruption into dismantlement. But vigilance must remain high. Terror groups adapt. They probe for weaknesses. They wait for complacency. That is why continuous surveillance, interagency collaboration, and community engagement are not optional. They are essential. What happened in Gwoza is a reminder of what effective security looks like: proactive, intelligence-driven, collaborative, and humane. Lives were saved not by chance, but by preparation. Yet this is one battle in a longer struggle. Each intercepted attack is a victory, but also a warning of what remains at stake. So let me leave you with one final question. How many tragedies have been prevented that we never hear about? And how can we ensure these silent victories continue? If this story gave you insight beyond the headlines, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation in the comments. Your voice matters, because sometimes the most important stories are not about what happened, but about what didn't.